In lesson 3.5, we're going to go back to earlier in the year with what we would have called an open response. This is all about veggie pizzas and a 4th grade class that's going on a field trip. You're going to need a whiteboard to warm up and also to create equal amounts of pizza for the different groups going to different locations for their field trips. So go ahead and have paper or a whiteboard ready to go. Let's begin with a warm-up. On your whiteboard or sheet of paper, go ahead and begin with multiplying 86 times 7. Remember to show your work, pause the video, and solve. Remember to pause that video. Don't just wait for the answer. It's great practice. Your 5th grade teacher will want to make sure that you can multiply larger numbers. So let's go ahead and solve. 7 times 6 is 42. Put down your 2, carry your 4. 7 times 8 is 56, plus 4 is 60. The answer or product of 86 times 7 is 602. For number 2, would you please write down the number 30 and find all the factors? Factors of 30. Go ahead and find 4 pairs. Stop the video or pause it and write these on your whiteboard. The first one, remember I always start with 1 times itself. 1 times 30. I know 2 is a factor because that number ends in an even number. 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. So 2 times 15. 3 times 10, and 5 times 6. And if I were to write my next pair, I would have 6 times 5. And when I get that turnaround fact, I know that I have found all of the factors. Is that number composite or prime? Composite means it has more than 2 factors. Number 3, please find the area and perimeter of this square. Remember, area is length times width. Perimeter is adding up all the sides. So go ahead and find the area and perimeter of that square. Pause the video. All right, you should have it solved. A square has all sides that are equal. So even though there is only one length, I know that this side is 4 feet. I know that this side is 4 feet. I know that this side is 4 feet because all sides are the same length. Area is length times width. 4 times 4 is 16 feet squared. Perimeter would be to add up 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. And guess what? It doesn't happen very often that way, but the perimeter and area happen to be the same. All right, so you're going to need a piece of paper, or you can download this into Notability and just do a split screen. But imagine that a class was going on a field trip. So in a 4th grade class, small groups of students went on different field trips, which wouldn't happen, but imagine that that's what was occurring. The cafeteria prepared 17 veggie pizzas for the students. Since each group had a different number of students, they were given different numbers of pizzas as shown in the diagram below. All the pizzas were the same size. So there were 4 students going to the forest preserve, so they will have to split those 3 pizzas equally. 5 students were going to the farmer's cornfield, and they were splitting 4 pizzas equally. 8 students were going to the wild meadow and had to split those equally. And 5 students went to Riverside and had to divide the 3 pizzas equally. So let's start with the 4 students who go to the forest preserve. We're going to take those 3 pizzas and divide them into 4 equal parts. Would you please either download this to Notability and use a split screen, or draw 3 circles? You've done so much with fractions that I think this should be fairly easy for you. So if you divide each of those pizzas into 4 equal parts, and let's number the first pizza. Student 1, 2, 3, and 4. They each get 1 piece out of the fourths. Second pizza, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last pizza, 1, 2, 3, 4. So please write a fraction as to how much of each pizza altogether that student would get. So in group, going to the forest preserve, person 1 would get 1. Let me circle them. 1, 1, 2, 3 slices. So that's the top number. The bottom number of the fraction is how many equal parts is each pizza divided into, and that would be 4. That's what we're going to do for each of the following 3 groups. So the group going to the farmer's cornfield, would you please draw 4 large circles? How many equal parts are we going to have to divide these pizzas into? Fifths. So I'm going to divide each one into fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I divide it to the middle, out to the side. Think of like a stick person. The body, the legs, the arm. Gets you pretty close to equal parts. So let's divide each pizza into fifths. Do this with me on your whiteboard or on your sheet of paper. And now let's take a look at what person 1 will get. 1, 2, 3, 4 slices. And each pizza's divided into 5 equal parts. Let's take a look at group 3 going to the wild meadow. We are having 8 students divide these pizzas up. Now, I can divide each one into eighths. I can definitely do that. So please draw 7 large circles. We'll divide these into 8 equal parts. So draw 4 lines, and that will divide it into 8 equal parts. Now we need to write a fraction for what each student will receive. I could number them all 1 to 8, but if I just take person number 1, 1, 1, they're going to get 1 slice of each pizza because they're 8 equal parts. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 slices, and each pizza is divided into 8 equal parts. And lastly, let's take a look at the 5 students going to Riverside. We're going to divide those pizzas into 5 equal parts. So again, if I'm going to draw them, I'm thinking of drawing a stick person. The neck, and the body, the legs, the arms. Just makes it easy to do it that way. The legs, the arms, the legs, the arms. And each student will get 1 slice of each pizza. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 students. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So student number 1 gets 1, 2, 3 slices, and each pizza's in 5 equal parts. Now that we know the fractional amount that each student will get, I can go ahead and decide which group is going to get the most. Here are the questions we are going to answer. In which group did each student have the greatest amount of veggie pizza? So let's go back. Let's just compare these two groups for a minute. In the cornfield, they get 4/5, and in Riverside, 3/5. So already, which one is more, 4/5 or 3/5? Okay, 4/5. So I'm going to cross that group off. We know that they didn't get the most. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the forest preserve group and the wild meadow. I have 3/4 for this group and 7/8 for the wild meadow. But watch what I can do. Do you remember equivalent fractions? If I multiply the denominator times 2, I can multiply the numerator times 2. So 6/8 is the same or equivalent as 3/4. Now I can compare 6/8 is less than 7/8, so I can cross off this one. And now what I need to do is decide which one is greater, 4/5 or 7/8. I'm going to take 4/5 and 7/8 and decide which one is greater. I'm actually going to give them the same denominator. If I change each one to 40ths, go ahead and write this on your whiteboard. I'm going to give it the same denominator because then it's easier for me to compare. So here, 5 times 8 is 40. So if I multiply the denominator times 8, I'm going to multiply the numerator times 8. 4 times 8 is 32/40. Now watch what I do to 7/8. 8 times 5 is 40. So if I multiply the denominator or the bottom number by 5, I'm going to multiply the top number by 5. 7 times 5 is 35. Which one is larger? 7/8, or what is equivalent to 35/40. Number 2 says use diagrams and words to show your reasoning. You can make diagrams on the pizza on the first page or draw your own pictures. And we just did. So well done, fourth graders. I hope you're going to have lunch soon or have already had it so you're not hungry after hearing about the veggie pizzas. Here's your veggie pizza for you. Do you even like veggie pizza?